we are finally going to get into some real cooking. No more baking, no more smoothies or coffees for right now. We're really going to get into the kitchen and get this recipe reviewed for you. I saw a trend going around where people were using walnuts or other variety of nuts to make a vegan meat substitute, basically ground beef. And it never really sparked an interest in me because I usually just use ground tempeh, or I'll use lentils, or I'll go buy just soy ground beef substitute from the grocery store. But I bought a big bag of raw walnuts recently, and I was just trying to think of what I can do with it besides baking or throwing it into some pancakes or yogurt. And I thought, why not try this out? So I just did a simple YouTube search and I looked up walnut meat recipes. I went through some videos, I saw the ingredients they were using and decided on one that I wanted to try out. I had all the ingredients already and it looked like something that I would actually enjoy eating. So I found this video from a YouTube channel called Sweet Simple Vegan. And their video for this is called Easy Taco Meat Recipe, but the blog they direct you to for the full recipe is on sweetsimplevegan.com, and it is called the Mushroom Walnut Vegan Taco Meat. And they note that it is gluten-free for those of you who are gluten-free, which is nice. I have faith that this meat is going to come out pretty well just based on the way you're supposed to make it and what we'll be using. So I will be following their recipe, but as I cook, I really don't measure out seasonings. I don't take a teaspoon or a tablespoon and put in a certain amount of salt or cumin or chili peppers. I'm just going to season it as I go and what I think I'd like, but as far as everything else, I'm going to follow exactly as they list it on their blog. And I won't be using cilantro only because someone here does not like cilantro, which is so unfortunate, but I'm just going to leave that part out. And other than that, we're excited to try this out. We're going to have some yummy tacos for dinner tonight. And I'll be making my own salsa to go on top. And we're going to have it with a side of quinoa. So stay tuned. I'm heading into the kitchen now. We're going to cook this up and then I'll come back for the review. So this is my honest opinion about it. I'm gonna be real, let you know what I thought while I was making it, after I made it. So here we go. I will rate this one a little more high effort. I don't feel like this was a quick and easy recipe. It was easy, it was not quick. And if you have a better food processor than I do, maybe you'll have better luck than I did. I'm not really sure how this recipe works without a food processor. I wanted to keep breaking down the walnuts so that they weren't so big and chunky. And that was the only part where I was just like, am I doing it enough? Am I doing it too much? Like, what's going on? And it was getting a little mushy. And I just kept smelling the raw mushroom. So I was already thinking that it wasn't going to turn out how I wanted it to. And I was like, all right, we're going to have mushroom tacos for dinner. Whatever. We love mushroom. But once you get the seasonings and all the other things in there, the tomato paste, the tamari, really surprising how much it started to look like ground meat. And then I started getting excited because I was like, wow, this is not what I was expecting from it. So this is a recipe review on just their taco meat recipe. I did not follow their taco recipe. I just used here what we had. And it turned out so good. I made my own homemade salsa, and we had low carb tortillas with it, and we had a side of quinoa. And then I had to make a special little cocktail for us because it is Super Bowl Sunday, and we did enjoy this meal during halftime, which was the only part of the Super Bowl we watched, but it was fun. And if I were to make it again, I think the only thing I would change is I would just add my own flair to it, and I would season it myself the way I used to season ground meat. Not that their way was bad at all. It tasted just fine. All the flavor was there, and we really did enjoy it, but I think I would just enjoy it more if I seasoned it myself. It's just how I am. I'm not sure if I would make it again. I mean, I would make it again for a special occasion. I would make it again if this was something where I was like, oh, I have walnuts, I have mushroom, why not? But if I was wanting to do something a little quicker and a little less effort, I would probably just go with tempeh or lentils, or even just buy soy crumbles from the grocery store. But this was really cool, and it was something new that we got to try. We both have never had it like that before, and it was a really cool experience to see what you can do with some nuts and some mushroom. And I have seen a lot of other recipes not use mushroom at all, and I think that would be really interesting to see just what the walnuts are like on their own. So maybe that's what I'll do if I do make it again. But as far as it being inexpensive or accessible, I do feel like you would still get more for your money if you did it the other alternative ways that I listed. But this one wasn't expensive. I don't really know how much meat is going for in the grocery stores right now, but you only need a cup of nuts and a carton of mushrooms, which really isn't going to cost you much at all. And again, the food processor, if you could find a way to do it without it, great. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I tried it out, and I will leave all their info in the description below. Check them out. You can print the recipe out, and you don't need your phone or laptop there while you're cooking it, which is pretty cool. And I think it would just be something to give you another substitute if you really feel like you're missing meat, if you're new on this journey and you want to try to mimic meat without soy, or if you just really want to use whole foods, this is a great recipe to try out. So give it a go. Let me know what you think, and Thanks for tuning in and watching another recipe review, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another meatless recipe. I bought a big bag of raw walnuts, but I did buy a big bag of raw walnuts. But I bought a big bag of raw walnuts recently.